Hello and welcome to the West Chronicle, and in this chronicle we're going to be looking at why did people go west, what were the factors that encouraged people to do so, and more importantly, who were the original people that went there. So let's start from the beginning. What do we actually know? We know that in the 1840s people in mass decided to start heading west. The question is, why did they decide to do this? What actually pushed them towards the west? Or was it actually something that pulled them there? So let me pose a question to you. Why do you think mass migration of settlers occurred? What caused them to go? Do you think it was love? They thought, oh, maybe they'll find the love of their life there. Was it money? They thought they'd get really rich. Or maybe they thought they'd find a new recipe for KFC or go fried chicken. The answer is simple. The answer is Jesus. They thought God told them to go, and that was a massive factor in making sure people go to the west. See, America in the 1830s was extremely religious and they were extremely conservative. And people thought that spreading the word of God was the greatest thing ever, and obviously by spreading the word of God you're going to get to heaven. So in order to do this, a group called missionaries decided it was a good idea to convert people to Christianity, and they made it their mission to convert the Native Americans. So why were they aiming to do this? See, the missionaries were the early settlers in the West, or one of. By the 1830s they had gone with the Bible in hand and decided to spread the word of God to the Native Americans, and the reason they did that was simple. They thought they were saving the Native Americans' souls and sending them to heaven. See, in your mind you might be thinking about a crazed guy with a religious holy book in his hand just thumping at it and saying, yeah, this is the way. It's not that simple. See, these guys had an ideal. It was called manifest destiny. It was extremely racist, but they believed that God had told them that as the white race they were destined to conquer the entirety of America, and in order to do so they needed to civilize the Native Americans, who they considered as uncivilized humans. So the short of it, the most important factor in causing people to go west is the fact that they thought they were going to convert an entire nation. But manifest destiny caused a lot of the other things. For example, this ideology led to people like the KKK and even Trump, allegedly. And you've got things like segregation and slavery. A lot of these things came about because of this ideal that there was a superior race. Again, the same with the Holocaust and so on and so forth. So you can actually argue that manifest destiny underpinned a lot of it, and it sit right at the top. Obviously some other racist incidents have not been covered, but I just want to show you the scale of racism so you understand what I'm trying to get at. So the whole point of me explaining manifest destiny to you was to explain the idea that racism is wrong. Obviously it was from the time, and it's something that should be left in the time. Now if you don't agree, obviously I can't change your mind on that, but the fact is everyone's human and everyone should be treated with respect. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to what we were talking about. Another factor that caused people to move west was definitely the mountain men or the fur trappers. These people went around and carved out a route along the trail called the Oregon Trail, which made it easier for other people to get to the west, and generally it made it a lot safer. So large groups of people then decided, I know, we'll move west. Why? Because they thought they'd get a better standard of living, and this was quite true. So there's a massive shift, and the shift was due to a myriad of factors. One such factor was the US government. The US government actively encouraged people to migrate west once they got Oregon country, Texas and California. They showed the west as utopia, a perfect place for you to start anew. The first group who set off were called the Peoria Party, and they set a route for others to follow. By the 1840s a lot of people had followed on. Did you know that the Peoria Party were the first pioneers to make the journey from the east to the west? Their motto was Oregon or the grave. See, on the journey there's a lot of dangers, and some of the members actually got into argument with each other and they actually shot one another. But it is important because the route that they used eventually became known as the Oregon and California trails, and the trails set out a blueprint for how other people could follow on and travel to the west in the safest means possible. So the question is simple. Why do you think people travel to the west? What was the main factors? Do you think it was all based on government propaganda, or do you think there were other factors at play? And if so, what do you think they were? So just a quick quiz. Who were the Peoria Party? Were the Native Americans, a breed of buffalo, a group of penguins, or the first pioneers travelling west? And the answer, of course, is they were the first pioneers travelling west. So there's two main factors that cause people to go to the west, and those are push and pull factors, which will be covered in another chronicle. Hey, you reached the end of the chronicle about why people travel west. Obviously, I hope you enjoyed the chronicle, and if you do get a moment and you enjoy the video, please do leave a like. And if you would like to support the channel, please do subscribe. I post regularly on a Tuesday and a Friday, and any support would be appreciated. Thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it as always. Have a lovely day. Bye.